Well, good Friday evening, everyone. Todd Warren here on Facebook Live tonight, as well as streaming on the weather page of our website, ktalnews.com, with an update on what's ahead of us weather-wise for this Easter weekend. It does still appear as if we have two potential periods where strong storms will be possible. The first being tomorrow evening, a very narrow window over a very small part of the ArkLaTex. I'll have the details on that. Also coming up, a second round of thunderstorms as the cold front moves in. We'll start to see thunderstorms increase a bit very late Sunday afternoon into Sunday evening. So if you have some plans for Easter Sunday morning, early afternoon, minus the chance for a scattered shower, looks like you don't have too much to worry about as far as severe weather during the first, say, 2/3 of Easter Sunday. That will change as we go into Sunday evening especially. But we've seen worse situations than what's on the way. And I'll show you the latest from Futurecast, Joey. Its depiction of the extent of any tornado threat, hail threat, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'll have the details on those two rounds of thunderstorms. We'll take a break for the most part Monday and Tuesday, and then late next week, another several rounds of thunderstorms will be possible. I'll show you which day could be the most active day, so to speak, with a look at the European model coming up. So if you have a question or a comment, feel free to ask away. If you just want to say hello, Todd, that's great too, as we usually begin things with our hellos. And Betty beats Brian tonight. Hello there, Betty. Lewis, good evening. Waiting for the update. Well, thanks for waiting, Betty. Anita, good evening to you as well. All right, so got a lot to talk about tonight, so let me get down to the gist of it. First of all, watching this big upper level trough here across the western sections of the country. You can see the center of it over southern Utah. We're going to see this take a course across the middle of the country here over the top of this big upper level ridge. And given its course, the severe weather risk on Sunday especially is going to be highest here to our north, although we will see some risk obviously here across the ArkLaTex. And of course, as I mentioned, looks like the far northwest corner of the area could be impacted by a few storms tomorrow evening. So here is a look at the surface map with Futurecast and the lows and highs and fronts and all that kind of good stuff. And you can see that front, that's the system that is eventually going to sneak through here as we go through probably Sunday night. It's going to take its sweet old time. You can see the pretty much stalling as we go into tomorrow. It may lift a bit back up to the north on Sunday, or at least tomorrow night, as that area of low pressure begins to get cranked up over central Oklahoma. That low is going to take a course towards the northeast, and you can see the more widespread thunderstorms closer to that low, they become much more scattered the further south you go. And then that low continues to move away from us. The front itself, here we are at midnight, barely making its way through Texarkana, still approaching Shreveport by that time, and we'll see that frontal system continue to slowly edge its way into the southeast edge of the ArkLaTex here, heading into Monday morning. And then we're pretty much going to watch it wash out. Say that 3 times fast. And then we'll take a break from the rain for the most part for much of Monday and probably Tuesday as well, as we take this out into Tuesday morning. You can still see lots of clouds. We're not going to see much sun here during the course of the next couple of days, maybe a few rays tomorrow. Okay, let's see who else has chimed in before I get into the details. Good evening, Rusty. Dawson at 7 to Texarkana. Hope woo. You'll see the details on that. It's going to be kind of iffy, Dawson, the way it looks right now. So watch Futurecast here. When I show it to you, you'll kind of get a sense. And this is going to loop from 5 to 7. And I'll try to zoom out a bit so you can see as far west as Dallas. Jane, hello to you as well. All right, before I get to the details, again, I've been putting my level of concern out there on a scale of 1 to 10. Earlier today, based on especially what Futurecast was showing and other models, I had the number at 3. Do have it at 4 now, very similar to what I've had over the last couple of days. I kind of probably should have kept it at 4. But nonetheless, 4 out of 10. And just a kind of comparison, the severe weather that we had a few weeks ago, the worst day, I think it was Friday, probably would have had it as 7 or 8. So that kind of compares the level of concern here. Is the main issue is probably going to be wind, to be honest with you. Here's the outlook for tomorrow and tomorrow night from SPC. You can see most of the ArkLaTex, not too much to worry about. Going to have to watch that area north and west of Interstate 30, especially in McCurtain County. All right, let's take a look at Robin's Story to Futurecast, and I'll kind of move this forward here tonight. Most of the rain stays to our north as we stay cloudy. As we go through tomorrow, a few scattered showers near and north of Interstate 30, but nothing really too much as far as storms during the day tomorrow. Notice as I let this play, the more widespread, stronger storms very well could stay to our north and west, and that is something that the evening run of the HRRR, which is just now coming in, is also showing. But you can see Futurecast does show a pretty good cluster right here moving through McCurtain County, and pretty much every model's been highlighting maybe Red River, McCurtain County is the location tomorrow evening that may be impacted by those thunderstorms. And just to zoom out, you can see this 5 to 7 p.m. Could have a few lingering. Might have a window there, Dawson, where you can get out of Dallas as the worst of the storms may be moving out before your flight leaves. So hopefully that pans out okay for you. Mary, hello. You have a great Easter weekend as well. Eric, 77 degrees now in Colbert, Oklahoma. Hello to you. All this rain is, well, especially next week, Betty, as we continue to pile it up. Albert, or I should say Lee, hello, and Gary, greetings to you. So that's the look at Saturday, and you can see the bigger concentration Saturday evening, probably to our north. Going to have to keep an eye on the northwest edge of the area. As far as risks, this is the output from Futurecast regarding a rotation potential, and usually we look when we have issues, we at least see some orange on here, and you can see that is most widespread back to the west of us, over towards Abilene, West Texas. That's where the tornado risk probably will be at its highest for tomorrow and tomorrow night, especially tomorrow evening. And you can see it. What this tells me is that the tornado risk is low, but it is not zero for those storms that skirt across the northwest part of the area. And here's the same output from Futurecast, same period, 5 to 7, or I should say 1 a.m. And you can see the lower end of the spectrum here. That basically means we might have a little bit of small hail, but doesn't look like too much if you just look at Futurecast. Now, the afternoon run of the HRRR did have some quarters possible, so we could see some decent hail if those storms do manage to get going this far to the southeast. All right, let's switch ahead to I appreciate that, Dawson. Let's switch ahead to Sunday, and you can see the slight risk for, say, the northern 3/4 of the ArkLaTex here, that area of yellow. Further to the south, you're going to be too far away from that upper level low to perhaps get the more widespread severe weather and thunderstorms. In fact, it's quite possible Manny and Natchitoches will not see much as far as rain. All right, so let's step Futurecast through Sunday. And again, we start off with a cloudy sky. Again, a few scattered showers possible during the morning, but nothing of any significant intensity. And you can see even by 5 p.m., we're just starting to see a few isolated cells gain a little bit of intensity very late in the afternoon. So I'm going to loop this basically from 5 p.m. Sunday afternoon to 7 a.m. Monday. And you can see the increase in the thunderstorms probably mid to late evening in that area between Interstates 30 and 20, between Shreveport and Texarkana, especially up towards Interstate 30. As the front slowly moves southward, the storms will begin to weaken once we get past midnight. Here we are right there, midnight, so you can see as we approach midnight, we probably will see a weakening trend with these thunderstorms. And the location of this band, very similar to the run of Futurecast that I showed during the early newscast, kind of highlighting that area between Shreveport and Texarkana as the location where the heaviest rain will fall and where some of the strongest storms could occur. As far as the threats, I do think wind both tomorrow evening and Sunday evening probably will be our biggest concern with these storms. The tornado risk, you can see Futurecast does have a few of those swaths during the evening hours, but they are on the low end of the spectrum. So very similar to tomorrow. The tornado risk for Sunday evening is looking low, but it's not zero. Okay, so that's good news there in that sense. Let me zoom this out and you'll see the difference here. There you go. So you can see the stronger circulations possible up in Missouri. That's where there is actually an enhanced risk according to SPC. All right, let's switch to the hail aspect of things from Futurecast, and notice do have a few darker spots in here, so we could see some hail in spots, which might, in a few isolated locations, make it quarter-sized. And again, wind probably going to be the bigger concern. Unfortunately, Futurecast kind of downplaying the wind quite a bit, so I'm not going to show you that because it barely showed gusts of 30 miles per hour, and it does tend to underestimate the storm wind gusts somewhat. All right, so that's basically in a nutshell what we're looking at. Main time frame tomorrow evening, that narrow window in the evening, especially McCurtain and Red River counties, and then the area between Texarkana and Shreveport, say during the first half of the evening, reaching its peak mid-evening, and then starting to decrease once we go past 10 p.m. towards midnight. And Shreveport may have to wait until very late Sunday night to see anything as far as storms here. All right, so that's what it looks like there. And maybe, Betty, maybe, just maybe, we'll see. The key to that, Betty, is that line. Again, you're going to have these cells. Basically, you can kind of think of it as that line as a train track, right? And you got these cells which are going to be moving along that track one right after the other. So if that line doesn't move very fast, one location could get hit by multiple rounds of heavy rain. So that's something that could, result in some decent rainfall amounts. All right, let's take a look at the 10-day outlook here as far as the pattern. And you can see that upper low moving into the upper Midwest by Sunday evening. This is the GFS, and you can see where it has the stronger storms well to the north of the ArkLaTex, not as much intensity here. And you can see these little ripples here. These will be the source of additional waves of thunderstorms here. Wednesday, another one comes in Thursday. There's a third one behind that for Friday. And then we should start to see things kind of wind down as we go into the last half of next weekend. Rain is going to be an issue. This is the 7-day outlook from the Weather Prediction Center, and it's going to be very much in line with the blend of models I'm going to show you here in a second. And I may want to bring over, in fact, I will do that, to show you maybe the higher end of things, so to speak. But you can see the 2 to 3 inches over most of the ArkLaTex. Again, lower amounts as you look down towards Natchitoches and Manny. Blended models in pretty much the same ballpark, 2 to 3 inches. These numbers quite a bit lower than what the blend was showing earlier this week. So that trend that started yesterday has not reversed itself, which obviously is good news. Here's another model by model breakdown here. And again, expect 2 to 3, but look at the high numbers. 4 to 5, definitely within the realm of possibility, depending on which model you look at. So just because the blend only shows an inch in Natchitoches doesn't mean you can't get 4 inches. It really depends on where the storms develop. All right, so let me, I don't think I put the 2-day rainfall in here. I did not. So I'm going to bring the rainfall potential numbers here from Futurecast and throw them in here real fast. And basically play this, and you'll kind of see that swath between Texarkana and Shreveport develop right in there. And you can see this is where the yellow is 2 inches, the orange is 3 inches. So wherever that line starts to get going, you can see that. And just a second, I just noticed one more thing. It doesn't catch all the rain. I need to change the time settings on here. I'm going to do this to 7 a.m. since it now sees the whole shooting match here. Okay, the latest run of Futurecast just came out, so I didn't have a chance to save that in here. So here's an update on that, and this will add the last 6 hours of rain. And you can see the storms definitely strongest, if Futurecast is correct, in this area near and south of Interstate 20. And you can kind of see when the storms start weakening here, East Texas, Northwest Louisiana, as they approach Shreveport. And notice Manning, Natchitoches, hardly anything through Monday morning. You'll get your little bit of rain during the day Monday, probably during the morning hours. All right, so that being said, let me see if I got any questions I need to address. Lee? That is true, Lee. That is, again, probably the reason why I changed the worry index to 3 instead of keeping it at 4. But nonetheless, that's what I agree. It doesn't look, that upper low is tracking far enough to the north that we're going to see more scattered stuff. So again, I'm not really too concerned as far as obviously we're going to have some wind issues, maybe a little bit of hail, but the tornado risk is looking very low in our area. It is looking much higher further to the north. All right, let's move on here and talk temperatures for the next couple of weeks. And the theme that has been going on here with the ensembles all week long is that the chilly air is gone, and it's gone for good, more than likely. You can see the European ensembles basically mid to upper 80s most days. Lows at night basically in the low to middle 60s, minus the low 70s for the next couple of nights ahead of that cold front. And you can see the GFS ensembles have been running a bit hot, and they continue to show that last week here, low 90s for highs, and even Tuesday seems a bit warm with the 90, in my opinion. But you can see the overnight lows. We have no more 40s for lows, likely no more 50s. The only shot probably going to be Monday night, to be honest with you, behind that front. So we'll see how cool the air is behind this frontal system coming in. But the moral of the story here is we're going to stay rather warm, and you can see by the lows in the mid to upper 60s, rather humid. And the good news, too, if you're sick of the wind, that we're finally going to get rid of that once that front moves through the area. So that's what it looks like there in the longer range aspect of things. And again, this is grain of salt time. Take the numbers here, especially past 7 days, with a grain of salt, because the numbers do tend to change, as we often see when I show these each and every night. All right, don't see any other questions. Betty, wind speeds, since let's see how far oh, another thing I wanted to show you. I forgot all about this too. I'm going to show you the European. I teased that I would do that. So this is the European. Again, this is basically tomorrow evening. Notice where it has the cells over McCurtain County, Red River County. Very similar to what Futurecast showed. And then here comes Sunday. And this is at basically 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. A little bit further to the southeast than Futurecast was indicating. There's 1 o'clock Monday morning, 4 a.m., 7 a.m., and then we'll see the decrease. And then notice the waves that come in. This is right there, Wednesday afternoon. There's Thursday, late afternoon, evening. Notice heavier, stronger storms to the west of us. So that tells me that if this is correct, again, the severe weather risk looks low, but watch what happens on Friday. So we could see some very heavy rain around here on Friday. As far as severe weather next week, just based on this, I would put my chips on Friday compared to Wednesday and Thursday. And then we should start to dry out as we go through Saturday and probably stay dry through the rest of next weekend. As far as, since I have this, oh, there it is. Let me close this and bring the ArkLaTex. This is the evening run of the ArkLaTex, and I have not seen it is done. So here we go tomorrow evening, and I'm going to step through this. So this begins, we got this, notice not really much here with the ArkLaTex with tomorrow evening storms, although it does still have some up in McCurtain County. Saturday night looks dry. Here we go. This is 2 p.m., 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's as far as it goes. So there you go. So 7 p.m., the line pretty similar. See what we got as far as any rotation indicated here. And you can see a little bit right there with that stuff tomorrow evening up in McCurtain County. And then late Sunday, not a whole lot here. So again, more evidence that the at least through 7 p.m. Sunday. Now, granted, Futurecast shows the peak a little bit later, and that's as far out as the longest run of the ArkLaTex goes out right now. And let me see, there's another piece of data I can look at here. I got to call it up. Okay, maps, and if it's done, the HR data usually gets in here a little bit later, so it's probably not going to be done here. Let's see what it shows. And again, Betty, you asked about wind gusts. Oh, it does look like it's just about done, so we may be in luck. All right, let me switch this over to Arkansas. This is going to show you gusts from the ArkLaTex model, United States, Arkansas. All right, so this will show us the gusts, and really this shows where we are looking at the stronger storms. So let's go through tomorrow evening. Let me get my bearings on the time. And you can see not much as far as the gusts here in McCurtain County. So switch over to Sunday, and you can see it does show some gusts with some of the storms, but nothing really earth-shattering here from the ArkLaTex as far as gusts. And all these would be non-thunderstorm gusts. It's going to be windy, storm or not, on Sunday. We very well could see some non-thunderstorm gusts of over 30 miles per hour. So again, here you can kind of see right here that would be 40 to maybe 60 in that red spot. And as far as hail, let me see what we got here as far as hail, surface hail. Not much from Saturday and not much from Sunday. So HR is pessimistic on the wind and the hail for that matter. But keep in mind, it only goes out to 7 p.m. And as I mentioned, some of the stronger storms could occur after that. So answer your question, Betty. Hopefully gave you a little bit of answer to that. All right, let's take a look at the forecast before I wrap things up on this Friday. And you can see that tonight. I think most of us will stay dry. If we see any rain, it's going to be over the northwest edge of the ArkLaTex, maybe DeQueen, Idabel. Temperatures mainly in the upper 60s to low 70s. 70 tonight in Shreveport, 69 in Texarkana. Another rather windy day tomorrow with the south wind. Not quite as warm. Again, we made it to 89 this afternoon in both Texarkana and Shreveport. And we'll be in the mid-80s tomorrow with a few upper 80s down towards Natchitoches. And notice most of the area stays dry. Best chance for the rain north and west. That 40% in Idabel will go up tomorrow evening. And your 10-day forecast shows the thunderstorms again Sunday evening especially, and Sunday night. That would be 60 both late Sunday, Sunday night. Rain chances decrease Monday, Tuesday. And then a good shot for thunderstorms Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're just tuning in, of those 3 days, right now it looks like our severe risk, if we have any issues, could be highest on Friday. Right now SPC does not have anything out past Sunday for us anyway. And you can see we should dry out towards the end of the day, 10-day period. Do so, Betty, do so. And I will keep an eye on things. I'll keep an eye on things tomorrow for the northwest edge of the area, and as well as Sunday. And I may jump on the computer and do the live blog stuff from home when we start to see the storm Sunday evening. And of course, if it looks like things are going to be spinning, obviously I'll come in. But the hope is, given the length of period of rain next week, I won't have to. David, I appreciate your comments there, and in my opinion, I prefer to give you what I think is going to happen instead of the worst case scenario. Now, keep in mind, it is possible we could have a few tornadoes. That's the worst case scenario, but the majority of the models kind of hinting that, again, the risk for tornadoes is looking low, and you saw with the ArkLaTex that not really a whole lot of wind from either case. All right. Well, that will pretty much do it for me tonight, folks. Should I end with a little bit of humor? I do have one off the top of my head. So, given the fact that the news is somewhat good, let me send you into the weekend a little bit of music with my attempt at, and you're quite welcome, Janice, with my attempt at humor. Ever wonder how to tell the difference between a boy ant and a girl ant? Well, what you do is you put the ant in water. If it sinks, it's a girl ant. If it floats, it's buoyant. I know that's pretty weak, but that's my little attempt here tonight. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Again, I'll be keeping an eye on things here this weekend, and I will let you know. Check the website. If I see that there are some, changes, I will probably post a little bit of an update on there tomorrow at some point, especially in the evening when I have more model data. And of course, I'll be monitoring things and try to post updates as well on Sunday as the storms develop Sunday evening. So that will do it for me tonight, folks. Happy Easter, everyone. Hopefully you get a chance to enjoy it. I do plan on we're hosting Easter brunch, if you will, lunch, and I'm smoking a turkey breast. So I can't wait to see how that. I'm trying something new as far as how I'm going to season it. So we'll see how it turns out. But until Monday, everyone, have a great, safe Easter weekend, and we'll talk to you again. Hopefully not sooner, but we will talk to you again on Monday. Until then, have a great Easter week.